Dun 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 dun. Intro music. Welcome back, everyone. This is Jack Moses with Comics Creation, and today we are working on. Yes, I'm going to reveal her name, Helena Sparks. She is a Medufian, which is a mutated human who has been infused with the mutation of the alien virus that has been going on, and it has spliced her genes with animals. So you will have a element of people creatures in my comic book, and they are called Medufians, which is a really cute name, I think. Here we are having, like I said, and I talked about in the anatomy video, how to make anatomy so much easier with the exclamation method. If you haven't seen that, check it out. I'm telling you guys, it works every time, and it will make your life so much easier. But right here, we have our scripted piece, and I'm going back over and I'm just showing you the process of how to create each one of these parts. Okay? And you'll see that as I do this, things change. Things change drastically. Like before, it was a bit clunkier. But now that I've gone over it with pencil once more, because I have the regular layer, I have the gesture layer, and then I have the working it out layer, and then I have the layer where I'm refining things. And I know you know all these things, but like I said, this is still important stuff, and it's just, don't ever let it go out of your head, okay? When you're making noses on people, on women especially, point the nostrils up. I cannot stress you enough, unless they are black, or, Mexican, or I would say Samoan. Anything like that, then their noses are kind of pointed more towards down, unless they're women, because the women's noses are always pointed up. And on someone who's white, the nose is typically always pointed up. So if you're having that, then you point it up. If you're going for more a black guy or a black girl, or a Mexican guy or a Mexican girl, Spanish, and a lot of times that the same thing applies to the women, so it's not really tilted down, okay? Femininity is femininity. Whatever ethnicity it is, it does not matter. And I've seen a lot of times, the only thing that really changes, it's the size of the nose. It's the size. It's not the fact it's like, I don't know, I guess you would say pointed down, the nostrils, a little bit more so. But everybody varies. Everybody varies. I mean, there's billions. I mean, that's what makes the world so beautiful, is that there's so many different features and so many different colors. So just really absorb that as an artist. Really absorb that as an artist. Like, one of my main characters is going to be this beautiful, like, Islamic woman. Okay, she's like downloaded with all sorts of crazy. She's very acrobatic, very acrobatic, and she's gonna kick some butt, which she's gonna be awesome. But right now, this is Helena Sparks. She was a normal girl, but she got infused with a sugar glider, so now she has the genes of a sugar glider inside her human body, which makes her, it gives her a tail, it gives her ears, it gives her very agile like reflexes, it makes her always want to be hanging around on things, which you'll see in the book. It makes her kind of playful when she's fighting and, you know, killing people. She enjoys it because she's sick and tired of what has been going on in the world and how the aliens have destroyed it. So she's not about killing regular people, but she does enjoy killing the aliens, which is, and her sugar glider friend do this. They're not an off part team. They're part of the Dragon Sisters, and you'll see more of the Dragon Sisters later. But this is just one of them right here, Helena Sparks. Timeless Visions. Make sure you check that out. Link down below. It's a great comic book, guys. Very, very intense. Also, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me there. You know, if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, you know, just let me know, because I'm here for you. I'm here in anything I can help you with. Like I said, I'm not, you know, a professional, but I think I've been doing it long enough to where I have a good grasp on things, and I've taken a lot of courses. So just let me help you out, you know. Let me be there for you. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like if you like it. But I'm just trying to bring to you two sets right now. Two sets of different videos, and one of the sets is creating a comic book from absolute scratch. I think that's really helpful to a lot of people. A lot of people have maybe give a lot of inspiration to a younger audience of, you know, trying to make their own comic books, and even an older audience. I mean, I'm 36 and I just started making my books. I've got 3 out there right now, working on the 4th. And I'm super, super pleased with it all. I really am. And I'm just telling you, anyone can do it. Anyone can do it, especially in this day and age, because there's so many outlets. So many outlets. And one of the greatest ones is Comixology, in my opinion. Because they'll take care of it for you. Once you get in their portal, you're right alongside the big boys like DC and Marvel and Image, Dark Horse. All of these guys, you know. I mean, yeah, you know, it takes a while to be seen, but it takes a lot of hard work, guys. A lot of hard work. You know, and I know a lot of younger people, they enjoy the whole getting in there with the social media thing, and if you have any fears of it, trust me, it goes away. Just like anything else, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. So just dive right in. That's all you can do, really. And just hope for the best, you know? So, I mean, this video it's more about me doing something while I'm talking to you, so you can just kind of, you know, just watch and learn and things like that. If you have any questions on the process that I do it with, just let me know. You know, just let me know. Everybody has a different process. Everybody has a different style. And whatever you do, don't lose your style. Perfect it. Really hone it, you know? That's what the world needs. The world doesn't need a copycat. It needs someone with their own style. That's what makes things great. You know, that's what makes art great. And I cannot stress enough, it's cool to, you know, start out mimicking the big guys, the big names like Todd McFarlane, Frank Cho, which Frank Cho is mind-blowing when it comes to his subtlety in the muscles and things like that. Except for the guys, that he kind of like blows the guys out, which is, I like that, because it's more of a, you know, you want to keep a woman more feminine. You want to keep her to not be so ripped, and unless the character is supposed to be ripped. And I think Frank Cho nails that every single time. And you got Rob Liefeld, Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee, who I really admire. I mean, so many greats. So many greats. But just make sure that you find your own style. Because if you're trying to always mimic them and you never come up with your own, one, you're going to always be looking at their work. Always be looking at their work to see how they do a certain something. Two, if you're going a different approach, like if you want to work for Marvel or DC or any of these other companies, then chances are you're not really going to be seen because you're not bringing your own style to the table. And I know a lot of times people say that, when you work for Marvel and DC, they have a particular style that they want in their books. But I don't think that's going to be, for long. I think they're going to want to see more and more of people's original styles. I think they're going to want to see what people can bring with Superman and Batman or Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four. I think they're going to want to see these new styles being brought to the table. And I mean, that's just how I feel. I personally think a Jim Lee should be a Jim Lee. A Todd McFarlane should be a Todd McFarlane. They have their own styles, and that's really what made the comic book great at that time. But if it continues to go on and copycat, then people are going to get bored of the art, and I think that's bad. I don't think that's the way it's meant to be, because everybody has their own style. You were meant to bring your own style into this world, not someone else's style. And I think we're going to see more of that, and I'm really excited about that. And I also think that we're going to see more care put into the craft. It's going to become a lot more mainstream, with all the movies and things like that. I mean, it's ridiculous how many movies are out about superheroes. And I'm not really complaining. I mean, I love superhero movies, but I don't have time to watch them. And I try to stay away from a lot of other people's art and ideas. Yes, I went and saw the Superman and Batman movie, and it was insane. It was like, okay, if you were to, when you read The Death of Superman, or something like that, spoiler alert, unless you haven't, if you haven't seen it, but the main thing is Doomsday comes at the end, and I am blown away by that. How they made it just so spectacular. I mean, it was just absolutely mind-blowing how they did it. And I recently watched Moana with my sisters, and CGI has come so far, so amazing. Don't just stick to superheroes. Look at everything in the world, because I'm telling you right now, if you look at a lot of Disney stuff, there's so much expression in their work. It's so unreal how expressive they make the Disney characters, because they're not doing the CGI stuff. They're doing like a bunch of animation through drawings and things like that, and they've got that stuff down pat so well that it's unreal how they can make those expressions. And I think Moana is one of the best ones yet. It's amazing. It's vibrant. It's just super. It's got an emotional impact. It's a great movie. And I know I'm plugging a lot of things, but I'm just kind of giving you an idea of the things to look for. Don't, make sure to just look at everything in life. The next time you go in your kitchen or something like that, go take a look at your salt shaker. Go take a look at your kitchen counter. Something. Because the more stuff you keep in your memory, the better your art's going to be. Art is, I don't know, I would say that there's a lot of people in the world that look at art and they're like, well, it's nothing, it's just a pastime. It's not like something you can do in real life. But I disagree. Art is one of the absolute hardest jobs there is, because you don't just have this tiny little thing that you do every day and then you come home. You have to absorb everything you see, especially if you're a comic book artist, because you're, like I told you, like I was telling you in the beginning, you're the props man, you're the director, you're the producer, you're all of this stuff, you're the clothes designer, you're everything. So you're constantly using your brain to find out how things look, and not just how things look at that particular time. I'm talking about you've got to keep up with how things look, trends, all of these things, because you got to keep your comics relevant. I mean, if you look at when Spider-Man first came out, or anything that first came out, you'll see that the clothing is, and the hair is more of like, it's got the curls because it was from a different time period. Now you've got the more, freedom hair and clothes and stuff like that, because it's this time period. If you were to it'd be kind of weird, because if you were to actually like have clothes and hair and stuff like that from that time period, people would automatically think that your comic book is going back to that time period, because that's what they associate things with. That's what they associate it with. And it's so, I don't know, to me it's really, really mind-blowing how that works. Because I would think the same thing. I would be like, wait a minute. These clothes and this hair, is it going back in time? It didn't explain why it's doing that, or, if it is really even doing that. So you would have to explain yourself, There would be no other way around it, honestly. So that's why having, an artist job is so darn important. It's one of the most important jobs there is, next to, first responders or the military, or trying to take care of our country and stuff like that, because you have to absorb the world all the time, not just that time, but keeping up with it. And yes, I say it's important because it really is. If we didn't have art, the world would be boring, and that would cause people to become depressed. Yeah, it's crazy, it's off subject, but it's true. It's true. Art is extremely important. Now, when it comes to, okay, back to the, the drawing. When it comes to legs, there are very strange positions that legs can be in. And to learn how to do that, you just gotta, it's all about playing with things until you get it right. Like for me, the earlier one that you can see underneath is all, it's distorted, and they're too big. They didn't fit the body. And I found that out, and that's why I make a kind of, it's a done layer for the pencil, and then I go back and do a completely done layer, because that layer allows me to go in there and really fix the things that I was like, something doesn't look right. And it's extra work. It's extra work, but it's important, and it really is, it really does bring something to the table. So then, just then, earlier, that I found out that the feet were massively too big, the legs were massively too big, and you just go up in there and you fix things in this layer. And when it comes to hair, man, this is one of the things I love about Todd McFarlane. When I see him do hair, he just goes nuts, absolutely insane. Yes, he makes it look believable a lot of times, but for the most part, he just goes over the top, and that's what I love about him. His work is over the top. And when he does his hair, I look at some of his Angela stuff, and it's just insane, that hair. And I think a woman should really have hair that just is alive. It really should be alive. And that's what you want to try to bring to the table when it comes to hair. Just, again, make it your own style, but still make it come alive. Don't leave it there. Don't leave it on the, Make it look like it's always doing something, even if it's not doing anything. You know? Because on the pencil layer, you can just go in there and really, really, really run wild. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything at all because it's the pencil layer. Even if you weren't working digitally, even with the the notepad or a notepad or whatever, you just get a light pencil, a real strong lead, and make sure it's not soft, make sure it's a hard lead, so it's just just flow all over the paper. And get that stuff down, make sure the proportions are right, and when you get to the hair, just really go crazy, because you can always after when you go to the inking phase of digital or traditional, you're going to be erasing your pencil lines and whatever. Don't head to the inking until you are completely satisfied with what you've done, because that's going to cause you a world of trouble right there. And I know a lot of people know that, but I'm speaking to the people who, to the people who want to kind of move on to that inking phase, and it happens a lot. It's happened to me too, because you're just so excited to really get in there and put those details. But the more a product is, just kind of scribbled over and made exactly how you want it, the easier it will be to put those final touches in with the ink. Whether you're using a brush or a pen, it doesn't really matter. So just go in there and have some fun, especially with the hair, because that's what, well, female's hair. Guy's hair is, you still have some fun, but you can't go as insane, because the character, unless they've got like super, super long hair, then you can't just go crazy. But you could still go crazy with the waves. Man, I think it was Frank Miller's stuff. He was having some fun with the Dark Knight series. And Superman's hair was just super waves everywhere, and you can do those kinds of things. I guess what I'm trying to say is there's no boundaries. As long as you make it kind of believable on the page, you can still go in and have some fun. That's what creates style. When you're rigid, you don't have the style. But when you just let loose, because it's really strange. It is so strange, because if you just free your mind and let loose, that is when your style comes out. That is when, after all the artists you've looked at, after all the artists you admire and things like that, after you finally free your mind and you've figured out all the anatomy and all of this stuff, all of these things, and you just let loose, you're like, whoa, I've found my style. And that's the way it's meant to be. Once you let loose of all of the artists that you admire, yes, still keep them in your memory banks, because they're the greats. Even if they're not considered the greats, to you, they're great. So just keep them in there, but keep them in there as admiration. Don't keep them in there as, someone to follow along artistically. Because guess what? As soon as you let loose and you found that where you're like, oh my goodness, I found my style, then you have become the great one. Yes, be cocky about it, Be cocky about it, because if you're constantly putting yourself down and you're just saying, well, I'm not as good as, Todd McFarlane, I'm not as good as Jim Lee, I'm not as good as Frank Cho, then you're going to be discouraged. You're going to be discouraged. And art is not about discouragement. Art is about fun. Art is about, just really, really bringing what's inside your head to the table. And I think that's so beautiful. Like I said, it's about the love of art. It's about the love of the craft. You just want to bring yours into this world. You want the world to see what you can do. And that's what creating your own style is all about. You know, when someone says, well, I haven't found my style yet, you know, it's because they haven't let loose. They're still holding on to someone else that they truly admire. They have not let loose, and there's still people who are who are illustrating comics today, who still will find their style once they let loose. Right now, they're just making stuff kind of look like someone else that they truly admire. But I guarantee you, once they let go of that person that they admire, they are going to bring something great to the table. Because that's what art's all about. Whether one person thinks that it looks good or not, there's going to be some people who are truly going to enjoy their work. There's always going to be someone who's going to love someone else's work. You know, that's what makes the world go around. Like, I don't know, my style might not be for everybody, but I personally love it, and it's what makes me feel comfortable. Because if I try to change my style from what it is, then I'm just going to feel uncomfortable, and then I'm going to get discouraged. No, I can't have the subtlety of Frank Cho. I can't have the presence of Jim Lee, but I can have my own style, and eventually, through time, I will hone it into something really, really great. You know, because that's what it's all about. If you're constantly trying to, you know, mimic someone else's style and say, oh, well, how does he do this arm? Or how does he do this chest? Or how does he do his breast? You know, if you're constantly going back, then you're just, plus it slows your work down. Because you're looking for answers. Meanwhile, you're like, you know, running through your archives saying, okay, well, how's he doing this? How's he doing that? And it's frustrating. So kind of get the general idea of the things that you love about each and every one of your artists, the people that you admire, and take all those pieces that you see and make it your own. Because that's what it's all about, guys. You know, I mean, in this video, it's about to, you know, I think, let's see, I don't know, about 8 more minutes. But I really just want you to take these videos that you see here as, I don't want you to, you know, if it does help you learn, man, let me know, because that would make me feel great to know that I've been able to influence someone into really, really, you know, pushing themselves, because it's about motivation, you know. But once you have, you know, kind of gotten those things down, it's time to work on your own style. It's time to work on your own style. And I know that I've heard Todd McFarlane, he says, you know, when you need reference, go to the muscle magazines, go to other things like that. Or no, he says, don't go to muscle magazines, don't go to, you know, things like that, because the world is supposed to be exaggerated. And he says go to comic books. But see, if you're constantly going to comic books, then you're going to pick up these styles, and you're going to like say, well, I like this guy the best, so I'm going to watch over him. You know, I'm going to keep up his style. And you're never going to be able to let the world see your gift. So if you need a reference, there's so many outlets, Tumblr, Instagram, Pinterest, all of this stuff. You know, go to those and type in forearm or back muscles or something like that, you know, and get the answers that way. Get it from the actual real anatomy. Because if you're copying someone else's work, if you're constantly looking at comic books for the answers, then you're never going to find your style, because it's always going to have someone else's. You know, I cannot stress that enough. But Todd McFarlane's amazing. I mean, he is absolutely off the charts. But honestly, I would suggest don't go to comic books. You know, after you have, I mean, this is after you've found your style. But if you found your style, and yes, you've used comic books. You've used the greats, the ones who really, you admire, but you're still having like, okay, well, I've run into a snag. I don't know how to make this part of the anatomy. Then don't go looking for the answers for your favorite creator. Go look for anatomy, because guess what? You've already started creating your own style. Admire their work, but don't keep it as a crutch. I know a lot of people are going to be upset with me for saying this. I'm probably going to catch a lot of backlash, but I'm just telling you, don't keep their style. Once you've got your own, keep it that way. Keep it that way. Because I'm telling you, the world's seen a Todd McFarlane. The world enjoys a Todd McFarlane. The world enjoys a Jim Lee. They want to enjoy a John Joe or a Susie B. 25 Anthony. I don't even know. But they want to enjoy someone else. They want to see someone else's work, someone else's style. Okay? Now, like I said, this video is about to end, and like I said, it's just a motivational. This particular video is a motivational video. I just want to let you know that you can do it. You really can do it. You just got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself. And I have videos on here that are going to help with anatomy in its simplest forms. And this whole channel is about, trying to create comic books together. I've got 3 comic books. I've got 2 comic books out, a 3rd comic book coming out, TimelessVisions. This is the 4th comic book. You can catch me on Twitter, Instagram. The link is down below for, my comic books. So make sure you check those out. I mean, it's a wild, wild story, and that's one of the reasons I made this channel, is because I want to share the insanity inside my head with you guys, and give you some information on how to, make comic books in the same way, because I think that's really important. Comment, subscribe, like, enjoy, and I'll see you next time, guys. Thank you so much.